Welcome back to the 2024 ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Predictions, and let's get right into it. But before we do, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to view our other upcoming content for the conference championships and our bracketology videos, as well as our bracket content once we actually have the bracket next week. But let's get started with the first round, where we've got Notre Dame against Georgia Tech, and I'll keep this short and sweet. Georgia Tech, I think, is the better team here. Notre Dame won twice close against this Georgia Tech team. I like Georgia Tech to bounce back and win the third game between these two. I like Georgia Tech to win that early one there. And we've got NC State against Louisville. Louisville is far overmatched here. I like NC State, a team that has fallen below where I think they are in the power ratings of these teams just going into the games. And Louisville is by far the worst team in the ACC there. I like NC State to cruise in that one. Then we have Boston College against Miami, and I like Miami to win that one. Miami has fallen down to the 14th seed with 9 straight losses. Both of these teams are roughly the same on an even neutral court, which this will be according to the power ratings. I'll take the value with the 3 seed upset in Miami. Miami, one of the biggest letdowns of the season so far. They haven't gotten better as the season's gone on, and Larinaga has not shown that he can coach this team to be better throughout the season. In fact, they've gotten worse. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami just bows out here. They've looked like they've given up, but I just think they're the better team talent-wise. See if they can get some three-point regression to go for them. Get maybe a little lucky on that. Beat Boston College in that first round matchup there. Now on to the second round, where we've got Virginia Tech against Florida State. Florida State close game against Miami, and what was pretty much a battle of mid with two 15-15 teams. I think Florida State is a little overmatched here, especially for a 1 seed difference here. Virginia Tech, some quality out-of-conference wins, got away from things in conference. They've got 13 losses. They can try and battle back into the NCAA tournament, but I think they might have to win this whole thing. Don't worry, though. The Hokies have done that before a few years ago. I like the Hokies to get it done there against the Seminoles. Then Georgia Tech against Wake Forest. I like Wake Forest to win this one. Wake Forest, a top 25 team in the nation if you just look at the talent that they have and how they've been playing. And they just lost to Georgia Tech in a game that infuriated a lot of Wake fans. Thought it should have been a travel down the stretch there. They get kind of jobbed in that one. They definitely won't let it happen again. I'd be looking to back Wake Forest in this spot, especially with Georgia Tech coming off a game the day before. I like the Demon Deacons to continue their winning ways after a must-win against Clemson went their way. This one's also a must-win, and so will the next round for them to try and get into the NCAA tournament there. We've got NC State against Syracuse. Syracuse's season actually came to an end a little bit early in the regular season, so they'll be working with a little more prep time than some of these teams, but they only get one bye, aren't really that close to the tournament field, although they are on the outer reaches of the bubble. I don't like them to win this one and get closer. I think NC State is the better team. Syracuse was fortunate to win both games against NC State, but I think NC State will win this third one. The second one especially was close, and NC State, I think, can turn it around and win that one there. Then we've got Miami against Clemson. And again, I said Miami was already a coin flip in the first matchup. I don't think they have the horses to get this one done here. Clemson coming off the tough loss to Wake Forest. I think they bounce back. Shefflin, Hall, and co. bounce back there, and they will move on to play Virginia. So now we are on to the quarterfinals, where we've got Virginia Tech against North Carolina. I think this Hokie team is overmatched here. North Carolina, what a win at Duke. They now jump Arizona for that number 5 overall seed. They probably want to be on that 1 line, but either way, they're probably going to be playing in the West if they do get up to that. So not sure if they want that regional preference, but either way, North Carolina has something to play for, as they're probably seeking a tournament title here coming from that 1 seed. I think that Virginia Tech is far overmatched here. These teams only played once at North Carolina. Carolina won easily. I like them to do it again here. Then Wake Forest against Pitt. Pitt has been a very interesting team. They don't have too bad of a power rating in the 45-50 range. Good win at Duke, but they've just been up and down over the course of the season. Can't really protect their home floor. A home loss against Missouri is tough for that resume. The bracketologists don't really like them in the field, so this is a must-win for them. but it also might be a must-win for Wake Forest. As I said before, I like the Demon Deacs to get it done. They are the more talented squad, and again, barring those 3 horrible losses in a row to Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, and Notre Dame, I mean, they'd be firmly in the field. Now they're on the edge. I like them to beat up on Pitt and move to the semifinals where they would play North Carolina. Then NC State against Duke there, and we just saw this matchup at NC State. Everything going for NC State. Potential look-ahead game for Duke against North Carolina. No, they got curb stomped by Duke. Can't get that image out of my mind. I like Duke, Filipowski, and co. to win easily against NC State here. I just don't think NC State is even close to the class of Duke here. I don't care about the extra value from NC State being a 10 seed. I think they'll get their head clubbed in there. So I'd be looking to back Duke, both on the money line and potentially in the spread there. And then Virginia against Clemson. Virginia finally recovered some offense, but it came against Georgia Tech at home. So, I mean, I don't think that really proves anything for this team. Gets them back on firm footing before the tournament and this tournament, but I think they just lose to Clemson here. Clemson better power rated according to my system, and I just don't really see much upside in this Virginia team. Mind you, the one matchup that these teams had this season, Virginia won by 1 at Clemson as part of that streak of lucky wins that they were getting. And I really think that Clemson turns it around here. After that win against Miami, they get something going and move to the semifinals where they would play Duke. So Wake Forest, UNC, this is kind of where I have it ending for Wake Forest here. I like UNC, again, just one of the more talented teams in the nation and in this conference. I don't think Wake Forest is up to snuff there yet. Wake Forest has played better against good teams as of late, but I don't think they have the horses to get it done against UNC there. Then similarly with Clemson, again, you're dealing with an extra game. You've probably already had to deal with the gauntlet in Virginia, although, you know, you're not as tired because you're not running up and down as much. You've got to play good defense against the tough Virginia team. Miami can always shoot the ball on you, so I think that they might get some tired legs here. Duke, either way, is the more talented team. If Duke is, you know, a top 15 team, top 12, maybe even top 10 team after that loss to North Carolina, then Clemson's like just on the border of the top 25. Definitely an upset I could see every few times, but I like Duke to win that one there. And then the rematch, it's happened twice. I had UNC the first time. I had Duke this time, but Duke did not win at home. I think we get the rematch of the great rivalry here, as we usually do in these ACC tournaments. But I think Duke turns it around, finally beats the Tar Heels. And overall, I think Duke probably has a slightly easier path, although Clemson is probably harder to play than Wake Forest, although they are similar, I'd say. And then the first round matchup, Duke probably has it easier if they do end up getting to play NC State. Even Syracuse would probably be easy for them. But Virginia Tech also should be pretty easy for UNC. So there's a good chance that we're going to see this matchup, and that's must-see TV. Of course, ESPN loves that spot there. But I like the Blue Devils to bounce back. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. I'm very impressed by UNC for doing that, but I think Duke gets the best of them this time. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and comment your predictions below.